Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the newest edition of the Take One Podcast, episode 16. And I'd like to thank you guys for joining me again for this episode. I was going to push this episode a little bit later on out in the week, but I decided to, kind of jump up on it because a little piece of news came to my attention, and I kind of wanted to talk about it as well as some other stuff. So, I'm going to get started. I'm not even going to talk too much in the intro, so I'm going to get started on the stuff that I'm going to be talking about. And as you know, there has been a lot of stuff going around with DC and all that stuff. So that's mainly kind of the beginning stuff that I want to get on. And the first one, little piece of news, is one piece of news that I was super excited about. Super duper excited about. Was that DC, out of everything that didn't happen, the slew of movies that they didn't put out, whether it be like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and just recently Suicide Squad, that their movies haven't been perfect. Their movies have had like a lot of criticism from critics, some from fans, and just a lot of craziness going on with the release of their films. And so when it comes down to it, they make the money. So when money talks, nothing else matters. And that's basically what it is in the company's eyes, or, through the company's, mind frame. And so they kind of like changing things around, and, they're trying to fix certain stuff. And so, it was too late to kind of change if they needed to change anything for Suicide Squad. But moving forward, they're trying to do all that they can to satisfy the fans. And since they're the ones who give the money, that's what they want to do. And so this little piece of news came out. Well, I ain't going to say little. It's a big piece of news came out that I was super duper excited about, like I said before, is that they're pushing forward with a Man of Steel 2. Now, before, it was kind of like, when Man of Steel came out, it got met with like basically not even like really negative reviews, but mixed. Like everyone, people loved it, people hated it, people liked it, people disliked it, whatever. It was mixed. And so, like I've said in the podcast before, and I like I said, I even said it in the last podcast, I love that movie. Man of Steel was a fantastic movie. I came out that theater loving that movie, and I didn't expect what I got from that movie. I didn't expect it, and I was pleasantly surprised of how it affected me. And so we got this Man of Steel 2 thing. We was expecting the Man of Steel 2. And so once we got the news that, yeah, they're coming up with a Man of Steel 2, and that was supposed to be right after Man of Steel. But they kind of like changed it around. I guess it was like they wanted to put Batman in it, because Batman, I believe, was going to be in Man of Steel 2. When they initially came out with it back after the first Man of Steel, that Batman was going to be in it. And I guess like at the end credit scene or something, he was supposed to get some kryptonite mail to him or something. I don't know. It was just like this whole big rumor. I don't know how true it is, but that was supposed to be it. And then I guess they wanted more Batman, so they was like rewriting the script and doing all this crazy stuff. And so it came out to where they wanted Batman in this movie. So instead of coming out with Man of Steel 2, they decided to make it Batman v Superman, and that's where we got it from. So like when you're hearing all that, you will be quick to assume that Batman v Superman was essentially the Man of Steel 2, which it wasn't. Batman v Superman is a standalone movie. It connects to, Man of Steel, but it's essentially its own movie. So when that came out, that just like took everyone's attention off of. I told y'all, I'm going to have times where I can't talk. It took everyone's attention off of Man of Steel 2, or, that movie being developed in this. Because when you hear Batman v Superman, like, what else comes to mind? Or, nothing else is, like, in your mind. You're just like, Batman v Superman. Okay, we're going to go forward with this. And so, after that, it was like, Man of Steel was kind of put on the back burner. It was like, it may not happen, it may happen. And it was looking more toward it may not happen. So, fans like myself of DC movies, or, just the superhero genre in a whole, but just fans of Man of Steel and how that was, it was like we were looking forward to this. And so we were kind of down like, oh, this ain't gonna happen. So it wasn't really no word on Man of Steel 2. I mean, it was like a speculation recently, like within this year and last year or whatever, about, it could possibly be made. because DC could be able to fit there in fat. I told you, I wasn't. It's times where I'm not going to be able to speak, but I'm just so excited about this. But it was like times where like they could fit, you know, Man of Steel or Batman movie, and so with their slate, we didn't have like a confirmed Batman movie, and they said it was pushing for that. We don't have a Man of Steel movie, or even like said that they were going to do it, and so. Moving on to recently, they basically said that this movie is a priority. That it's already in active development right now. That it's not something where like, oh, well, you know, we're, you know, we want to make it. Well, we're trying to come up with some of this and some of that. And, you know, soon we'll be able to get to something together and we'll keep you guys posted. No, this is an active development. This is a movie that more than likely we're going to see within the next 2 to 3 years. That it more than likely is going to be placed like real soon, because they have 2 dates that's unspecified for the DC movies. That it's untitled. We don't know what movies are going into these release slots, or, you know, these slots or whatever in their slate, and the dates being October 5th 2018 and then November 1st 2019. So with that, people are speculating that either, you know, one is going to be Batman v Superman, or not Batman v Superman, but the solo Batman movie, and then the other one is going to be a Superman movie. So we don't know which one it is. It's not confirmed on where it's going. They might put one of those 2 movies in there and put another movie in there. They probably might make a new release date for like Man of Steel or a Batman movie. I mean, because they have a schedule more than likely, but things change. They might have like, okay, we want to do something else, so we're gonna, you know, move this around, and we're gonna, instead of putting this movie out on this day, we might do it like that. But do whatever it is, I hope that this movie come out sooner than later. Now, don't get me wrong, I want to see a Batman movie like anyone else. To me, Batman was one of the highlights of Batman v Superman. And even in Suicide Squad, if you haven't seen Suicide Squad, this isn't no spoiler, but, you know, some people might say it, but I mean, it's already been out there that Batman, he's in the movie, but he's not really too much in the movie. He's in like 2 scenes, and combine both of those scenes is like not even 5 minutes of the movie. So it's like Batman makes an appearance in there, and then, you know, that's basically it. But in those scenes were good. It's like, I love seeing Ben Affleck as Batman, and I want to see a solo The Batman movie. So whichever one comes out first, if they are going in both of those dates, the Man of Steel 2 and the solo Batman movie, I guess it don't matter which one comes out first, because one is coming out in 2018, the other one is coming out in 2019. So if they put the Batman before, you know, the Man of Steel, which I think will be more logical, because we already had a Man of Steel movie come out. So you want to put, you know, the solo Batman movie, which everybody is craving for right now. You know, you want to put that first, and then next year you do the solo Man of Steel movie. So, or the Man of Steel 2 movie. So, I mean, that will be more logical, but I'll be happy with either way that they want to put it out. If those 2 movies go in both of those slots, I'll be okay with it. But yeah, I am really excited for this movie. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, like, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people was like, this and that. They didn't like this. They didn't like Zod's neck getting snapped and blah, blah, and all that. It's like everything about that movie I love. It's a lot of things that I didn't like, but I essentially love that film. And I use that strongly. I love that film. So I can't wait. I hope that they come out with a release date on when they're going to do it, and that, you know, they give us more information. But for right now, we don't know who's directing it. More than likely, it's not going to be Zack Snyder, because Warner Brothers wanted to fire him after Batman v Superman and how that came out. But, you know, they already had him on, so they just decided to, you know, keep him going. And plus, it'd be bad press. So they're not going to have him on. Plus, on top of that, he's working on Justice League right now as we speak. So he's not going to be a candidate. But they're going to have, more than likely, they're going to have a new director. And I don't even know who's penning it. But, you know, I'm gonna have like probably either the same writers or probably different writers or whatever. But whatever they do, I hope they do it and do it quick, and we get more information about it. Because right now we know that it's coming out and it's a high priority. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And so moving on to the next subject. So with continuing on with DC and what they're doing, as I mentioned recently, even with the last podcast, and everybody knows that Suicide Squad was released Friday of last week. And it's been met with like, crazy. Like I said, these DC movies have been met with like a lot of controversy, a lot of just mix, from criticism to praising and all that stuff between critics and fans. And like, but despite all that, Suicide Squad has done good. Now, me personally, if you haven't seen my review, I have it on my review of what I feel about the movie, or how I feel about the movie. And I essentially really didn't like the film. I feel like it had a lot of problems. And everyone, that I know, or, everyone I follow on YouTube, and, the critics that I've watched and, this and that seen the movie, they basically essentially say the same thing. That the movie had a lot of problems, but they had a lot of fun with it. Blah, blah, blah. Me, it's like, I guess it's all in how you perceive a movie. If the cons outweigh the pros, or if the pros outweigh the cons. And to me, the cons outweigh the pros. So it made me not really enjoy the film as much as I wanted to. I've seen it twice now, and it did nothing more for me. It wasn't nothing like it just boosted it up or whatever. But in any case, you have fans that like it, fans that don't like it. You have critics that like it, you have critics that don't like it. So whatever you feel about the movie is doing good. The movie is the highest opening. Like I've discussed this in my last podcast, but the movie is the highest opening movie in August ever, and it's already outbeat, Guardians of the Galaxy and all that stuff, and that it's like, it may be pushing on to, I wouldn't even say $1 billion movie, but it will make a crap ton of like money before its initial, theatrical, run is over. It's going to make a lot of money, and it's doing great overseas. And it's like they're doing a good thing. Like I don't pray, I'm not praying that, it was going to do well. Of course, I understand why a lot of people enjoyed it, but I mean, that's just my opinion, But I mean, initially, it's doing really good, and it's pushing on. It's still right now. It's at a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's not really good, But at the same time, like I said, money talks, and it's making the money. So I don't think the Rotten Tomatoes scores work or even like matter in any case. And so right now, Suicide Squad is like, they have a script in the works for the sequel, because I wouldn't even say this may be a potential spoiler. So I mean, you can probably like skip ahead a little bit, but Suicide Squad, it ends on an open note. It ends like with the story being open, that it can continue from there. And I'm not going to get specific because I'm not trying to make it spoiler, but it basically leaves openly to where you can continue with that story. And it was basically said that like David Ayer came out and said that like it was intentional, that it was just supposed to be open, that it wasn't supposed to just close and that's it. So with that, they always had that in mind for a potential, sequel if this movie did good, which this movie is doing good, and it will do good by the end of its theatrical run. And right now, of course, they don't have no director as of yet. David Ayer may come back, but right now it's all kind of like, it's all right in the air. It hasn't been confirmed that they're actually going to do a Suicide Squad 2, if it's going to be the same cast or whatever they're going to do. But, if this ends up coming to fruition and it ends up being true, then maybe we may have David Ayer come back again, or we may not. So, I mean, I think that it would be probably be better if we get another director. That way we get new fresh eyes on this and they can do it a little bit differently, whether it's a him or a her. It don't matter, just as long as they make an incredible movie. And for me, as long as they make it better than this movie. But, yeah. And I don't know. And just like I said for Man of Steel and the solo Batman movie, like DC has 2 slots open. You know, for the October 5th, 2018 and November 1st, 2019. And you have this potentially third movie that they could throw in the mix. So you have 3 movies that could be, you know, trying to like gun for those 2 slots. And maybe one of them could be Suicide Squad. You don't know. But, I mean, time will tell. If this ends up being confirmed that they're going to do a Suicide Squad 2, like they have a solid script, that everything is in the can, we just, you know, need to get these actors back, or they going to get these new actors for these new characters and stuff, and we got this great storyline and everything else, then, you know, we're going to more than likely see a new Suicide Squad. And I don't have no problems with that. I mean, I'm glad the movie is making as much money as it did. I'm glad people are enjoying it more than I did, but I mean, I'm open to see a part 2 because to me, a part 2 can only be better or worse than that, the same. And that's not good at all because, well, that's not good at all because that just shows me that there's no progression. So, and I don't know. It's just I'm very curious, and like if it comes out, of course I'm gonna go see it because I am a big fan of superhero movies, and if it looks good, then okay, I'm gonna go see it. But other than that, yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't know. I guess you could say, yeah. And so moving on, next on the agenda is a review of the Resident Evil, the final chapter teaser trailer, and I put air quotations since you guys can't see me for the teaser part because, I mean, really, I guess you can say it's 50-50 because, well, let me like explain, you know, let me do a quick review on the, you know, the trailer. That way I can explain why I say it's a teaser with air quotes. But essentially, just real quick, I'm not a big fan of Resident Evil in the least bit. The first one I can say was the best out of the whole franchise. And I can clearly say that that is one of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite movies. And ever since then, they just kind of like fell off. And I think I discussed this in my last podcast, episode 15, that, you know, it's just, they kind of fell off. And so with this one coming out, this is the first trailer for Resident Evil, the final chapter, which is the last movie of this franchise. This is the end all. Alice is gonna die. That's my prediction. But in any case, the trailer looked good. I say it looked good, but at the same time, I didn't like it. And I'm gonna tell you why. It had a lot of craziness, a lot of like action and all that stuff, which, you know, I'm like, you know, it looked good. But after seeing it a second time, I noticed it the first time, but it didn't quite dawn on me until I looked at it a second time in the trailer. Then this is where the quotations of the air quotes, you know, the air quotes come in for teaser, is that it is a full-length trailer. It's like maybe like a minute or something, like 2 minutes long. And it's basically like a full trailer. That's why I'm saying, like, it's, you know, it's not a teaser. I mean, it's a full length trailer. It's not like 3-4 minutes long, but it is a regular trailer. But in a sense, it is kind of a teaser because it's so many damn cuts in this trailer. And like I said, that's what I've noticed the second time around watching this trailer. There's so many cuts. Now it's making it hard for me to even watch the trailer again just so that I can get more into it. But it was like literally, you cannot pinpoint any type of action in there. All you see is explosions, kick, punch, kick, motorcycle, explosion, zombie, cut. And it's just, and literally it goes as fast as that. Like, I would be mad as hell if I was told to cut a trailer like that. And like, that's what I said, like, I mean, in a sense, it's somewhat of a trailer because it has so many damn cuts and you don't know what the hell is going on. Now, I get in the trailer, you're supposed to cut together certain scenes. So, if you don't want to give away the plot, you gotta, make it seem like certain things is happening that's not happening. Blah, blah, blah. But it's crazy. Like, it literally felt like, the people with conditions, I don't even know what it is, but, when people get seizures from seeing blinking lights, just constantly just blinking and they start to get seizures or whatever. That's kind of like how it is. You watch the trailer and I felt like, not like I was about to have a seizure, but like I felt like I could have a seizure because it was just cut after cut after cut after cut. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what the hell? Like, it literally had so many cuts, and that's what threw me off of the trailer, was just that. It looked good, or potentially looked like it could be a great trailer. And like I said, I don't like any other Resident Evil movies besides the first one. I tolerated like the last one that came out. I think it was Retribution. That one was decent. But as far as Resident Evil movies, they all suck except for the first one. And this one is like, I don't know, because I was so disappointed by the other ones. I don't even know if I'm going to go see this in the movie, no matter how good the trailer looked. More than likely, I probably might just to see, but I don't. Right now, the trailer didn't sell me enough. It sold me on wanting to see the movie, but actually going to see the movie in the theaters, it didn't sell me on that. Only because, not even because it was a teaser, but it was just so many cuts. It was just, it got annoying after a while. Just so annoying, and it just, I don't know. To me, it was a bad trailer. And it was just basically just solely on just the cuts, just this real quick cuts. It just, oh my gosh. And I'm getting a headache just thinking about the trailer. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully the next, I guess you can say the first trailer, not a teaser trailer, maybe it will be better and it probably might spark my interest on actually thinking that it may be good, but right now, it's just, yeah, it is what it is. And so, moving on to the next subject. Okay, so this is something that I kind of wanted to get off my chest, because I've been told this to me, and I kind of want to, like, I have a platform to where I can speak on it. So, I'm just going to, like, do it. I'm not going to take up too much of the time, because I want to get to the other subjects. But I just want to talk on it. So, I basically have been told that, I mean, I'm a stubborn person. I'm not even going to lie. I know that about myself. I'm just a stubborn person. There's nothing that I can really change about that. I mean, I can try, but I mean, that's just me. I feel like that's just a trait that people have that you can't change. And so I've been told that not only in, just my regular life that, I'm stubborn, which, like I said, I know that when it comes to reviewing movies and my thoughts on it, that I'm stubborn on that. That, it's hard to like shake my, opinion and blah, 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 what my thoughts is about a movie. And so I've been told by this, I'm not going to put the person on blast, but I've been told by this person that maybe they probably meant it in a certain specific type of way, but that's basically how it was relayed to me. So I'm about to like comment on that. And my comment on it is that there's nothing, as far as being stubborn, maybe I am stubborn when it comes to movie reviews. But when it comes to movie reviews, you have to give your opinion, whether you like the movie or you hated the movie. I feel like if I came out of a movie hating the movie's guts, but every single person loved that movie, and because everyone loved that movie, I say I love that movie, I cannot be credited for being a good movie reviewer or just a movie reviewer in general. If I let every other person's opinion, affect mine to a way to where I'm saying what I actually don't feel about a movie. If I walk out a movie, whether I hate it, loved it, liked it, it was okay, whatever I felt about a movie. If I walk out of there giving thoughts about a movie that aren't mine or not exactly the way I feel, I wouldn't even feel whole. I wouldn't feel good enough to say that I am a movie reviewer if I can't give my honest my honest thoughts on a movie, whether I hated it or I loved it. And so being said that about myself, it's like, what's wrong with that? If anything, that's a strength. Because if you're going to go see a movie and you hate it, you want to tell your opinion. All movies are subjective. No movie is not written rule. There's no specific law or book written on what makes a movie bad. I mean, it's everyone's opinion. You can find somebody who loved that Fantastic Four movie that came out last year. That movie was horrendous, but you can find that one person out of 100 people that hated that movie. You can find that one person who loved that movie. One person out of 100 that loved that movie. And you cannot shake their thoughts about it or what they felt about the movie. You can't shake it. No matter how many times you try and point out this and that, that's bad. They can just be like, I love the movie though. And that's just their opinion. That's how they feel. And I feel like the same way. If I walk out of a movie and I love it, then I'm going to say I love it. And I'm going to give you the reasons why. I feel like if you can articulate why you love the movie, why you hate it, or if you felt any other type of way about a movie, I feel like if you can articulate the reasons why, and they're not just nitpicks, so just throw the nitpicks out the way, but legitimate flaws about the movie, or legitimate, good things about the movie. If you can articulate what you liked and what you didn't like about a movie, I feel like you have a legitimate claim. Now, given you can like a movie, it don't matter if you can articulate it or not. If you like the movie, you like the movie. You hate it, you hate it. But I feel like that's the strength for me. I'm not gonna like what you like. You're not gonna like what I like. For instance, there's this movie called The Babadook. I don't know if people seen it, but it's a horror film. It may be still on like Netflix or whatever, or you can rent it at your video store. But I hated that movie. I seriously hated it. And every single person that I've heard that didn't, I've met that didn't seen it, they said that they liked the movie. They thought it was really good. Even reviewers that I follow, they said they liked the movie. The movie is so scary. The movie is this and that. I did not like it. I didn't think it was scary. I didn't think it was creepy. I didn't think it was anything. I just saw a whole bunch of mistakes while watching that movie. But I'm not about to change my opinion on how I feel about the movie because that person liked it. That person loved it. That person thought it was brilliant. That person thought that movie was the scariest thing that they ever saw in their life. I'm not about to say that because I don't genuinely feel that way. So if I'm stubborn and I won't budge on the way I feel about a movie, if me and you go in there and we don't have the same experience when we come out the theater, that's good. That's good. As long as I can articulate and tell you why I don't like a movie and you can tell me why you love the movie or vice versa, that's a conversation I would like to have because I want to know what you liked about the movie that I didn't like. And I'm sure you should probably want to hear what I hated about the movie and what, and so on and so forth. It's like, if you have an opinion, don't be scared to say it. If you're scared to say it, you shouldn't be doing movie reviews. You shouldn't. I'm not about to go in there and just see other people's reviews, see a movie, and then be like, oh, 10 of these reviewers that I watch or everyone that I know likes this movie, I like this movie too. Like, no. If you hate the movie, say you hate the movie. If you thought it was okay, it's okay. And it's like the recent one was Suicide Squad. Everyone that I've talked to either loved that movie or they thought it was like good, okay. I didn't like it. It had some good qualities about it, but to me, it was just a bad movie. I was bored watching it. I was bored towards the middle of the movie. I'm like, when is this movie going to go off? You shouldn't have to feel that way while watching the movie. That movie seemed like it was long as hell. And it wasn't even like near as close to being as long as Batman v Superman. But it's like, I feel like, if you have an opinion, say what your opinion is. Don't be afraid to, say if you didn't like a movie. Don't be afraid. Just give your opinion. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. If people don't respect you for it, hell, they don't have to respect you for it. It's your opinion. They have their opinions. They have their thoughts, their feelings on how a movie is, or, you know, everyone goes into a movie with different qualifications on what will make this movie good. My qualifications going into Suicide Squad and movies like that I didn't like are different from someone else's. So those qualifications, that movie didn't meet it. So essentially, I did not like the movie, as well as The Babadook, and like a lot of other movies. So don't fault me on that. I have to say, you know, just don't fault me on that. Listen to my reasons why I don't like it, and just understand that I don't like the movie. You're not going to change my opinion. You're not going to change my opinion. I can say the only movie that recently that I've changed my opinion on was Star Wars The Force Awakens. And that wasn't because everyone else said it. That's because I saw it the second time. And I'm like, you know, it's starting to grow on me. And I essentially ended up loving that movie. You know, but that was just on my own. Your first initial reaction when you see a movie, you know, it's like, yeah. But then when you watch it a couple times and let, you know, let certain stuff sink in, it's like, okay, you know, I'm starting to feel this. I'm starting to, you know, come around to it. But other movies, you know, if it's just bad and you watch it over again, it's like, there's nothing, it's nothing, you know. So I say, like, if you're a movie reviewer and you have that to where it's like everyone likes this movie and you don't like it, don't be scared to, you know, say you don't like it. If everyone hated it and you loved it, don't be scared to say that you love it. Don't be scared of that opinion. You have your opinions, they have theirs. They're not afraid to say that they hated or love a movie. Why should you? And that's the same with me. I'm not going to be afraid. If I didn't like a movie, I don't like a movie. You're not going to shake my opinion. If you can shake my opinion, I wouldn't even expect you to respect me as a movie reviewer. Why would I be doing movies on movie reviews if I can't give my opinion? And that's just my opinion. But yeah, and so I spent enough time on that. But let me move on to some wrestling type stuff. So we've gotten, I told you, there's going to be times where I can't talk. We've gotten a brand split with WWE. SmackDown is his own show. Raw is its own show. And they have different champions on each one. So the WWE champion is on SmackDown. So Raw needs a major title. So they came up, Mick Foley, the GM, and Stephanie McMahon, the commissioner. It kind of got me thinking about The Dark Knight. But anyway, yeah, Stephanie McMahon, the commissioner of Raw, came up with the name of the new title, the Universal title, or the WWE Universal title. And so we haven't got to look for it, but we all know right now that Seth Rollins and Finn Balor are fighting at SummerSlam for that championship to be crowned the first ever WWE Universal Champion. Now, we don't know what this title looked like, but a rumor has came out that this Reddit user got some information from different sources, or a picture from different sources, that the championship for the Universal title basically is going to look exactly like the WWE Championship. It's going to look exactly like it. It's just that it's going to, like, the WWE World Championship is going to change, where it's going to be, since it's on SmackDown, the front of it is going to be kind of blue with the huge WWE symbol. It's going to be the same thing. It's just going to have blue coloring in, like, the middle part and on the two, like, medallions on the sides. And then the Raw Championship, the Universal Championship, is going to be the same thing. It's just going to have different colors. It's going to be red. And just quick thoughts on that. That's stupid. It's extremely stupid. I was against the Women's Championship looking just like the WWE World Championship. I'm still kind of against it. It still is not sitting with me, because it's like, you have a chance to design a brand new championship, give it a brand new look, and you go with the same. Now, if you go with the same look as the world title for the Universal title, as well as you have the same look for the women's title, it's like you have 3 titles that look the same. it's like there's no creativity in it. Like, to me, I'm like so against it. I hope they come out with a good look for it, a great look, a fantastic look for it. That way it looks totally different. Because if you have it look the same, you might as well just have one championship. And just have it like one side of it, one of the medallions is red, the other one is like in the middle. One medallion is red and the other on the other side is blue. And then in the middle you have the WWE symbol, and the back coloring of it is like one side is red and then the other side is blue. Like, you have it like one big square, but you know, it's kind of like half of it is red and half of it is blue. You might as well have it like that and have the championship fall on both brands. But to have it the same as that, it's no. I just have to say that. I hope it's not true. It's just a rumor. We don't know if this Reddit user has reliable sources, but I hope they come out with a new and creative look for the championship, and I will be happy. That's all it is. That's all I have to say about that. And so, moving on. So the next thing on our agenda is that unofficially, which we all know officially is going to be named, Stranger Things. If you haven't seen the series on Netflix, it's called Stranger Things. This is first season. If you haven't seen it yet and you're a fan of horror, or if you're just a fan of 80s horror, check it out. It's such a good show. Such a good show. My review is going to be on my review for the show, well, for the series or whatever, or the season, the first season is going to be coming out later on this week, as well as a couple other things. So look out for that. But just talking about that, just the show is incredible. It's amazing. I did not expect to like it as much as I did, but I did. And I will talk more on that on my review. But it came out that Netflix CEO or COO or what? CEO, I don't know. Anyway, Reed Hastings has came out and said that they will be stupid, and they would be stupid not to give this series a season 2. And it's like, it's basically been unofficially said, but the creators of it, the Duffer Brothers, said they do have plans for a second season. So if they're already kind of like in the process of coming up with a second season, which I think that they should, more than likely it's going to be renewed. But if you've seen this show, if you've seen it all the way through, beginning to end, you will understand why this need a second season. And it's not because, like, I'm not saying that like it ends off on a cliffhanger or nothing like that, but the show is just so good that you want to see more of it. It's only 8 episodes long. Like, usually Netflix series is like 12, 13 episodes. It's only 8 episodes long, but they run from like 45 to 55 minutes. And it's like, they really need to make this they really need to make a season 2. They really do. And it looks like they're getting close to doing it. I mean, more than likely, it's already like decided after this, because every single person that I've talked to, they love it. All you see on Facebook is like, oh, watching Stranger Things on podcasts that, you know, talk about entertainment. You probably heard about it on Collider Nightmares and stuff like that, talking about Stranger Things. And yeah, so with it getting this much buzz, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer to have a second season for this show, because this was written so. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not even gonna get into it because I have a review coming out for it, and I'm gonna just speak my mind on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I love this season. Can't wait to see a season 2 once they confirm it. I'm not gonna say if they confirm it, but once they confirm it, I know a lot of people are gonna be jumping out of their heels for it. But yeah, I mean, this news I'm excited about. And yeah, I mean, there's not really too much I can say about it. I mean, it's once you see the show, you will see what I'm talking about. You'll see how good it is, and you'll just be like, yo, I need to see more of this. So, and moving on to the next subject, and to continue on with Netflix. Now, I'm letting y'all know this wasn't intentional. This really wasn't intentional, but continue on with Netflix. And speaking of Netflix and everything, the newest trailer for the Netflix series, the Marvel's Netflix series, or however you want to put it, Luke Cage had dropped. and it looks amazing. Now, for those who don't know who Luke Cage is, it's a Marvel property. And if you haven't been watching the Marvel Netflix series, make it a point to watch it. Not Dead. I was going to say Deadpool. Okay. Daredevil is on its second season. Well, it's going to be the third season. I don't think it's going to come out into 2018. They pushed it back because of Defenders. But yeah, Daredevil has 2 seasons on there. Jessica Jones has 1 season, and Luke Cage about to come out with his season. If you haven't seen Daredevil or Jessica Jones yet, make it a point to watch them. You will love them. These shows are so incredible. Speaking of like Luke Cage made a big impact on Jessica Jones. That's when he was first introduced. And so he was such a good character. Like, the actor who plays him is such a good actor. Like, he plays this character so good that you want to see more of him. And now we get to see more of him, and it's not that long after Jessica Jones. I don't even think it's a year. Like, I think Jessica Jones came out in like November. This comes out in September. Well, next month. And so, yeah, like the trailer looks badass. It looks like it's like Daredevil. If you've seen Daredevil, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It looks amazing. It looks like they're giving care to this show just like they do the other ones. And like just the hard hitting, like just impacts that he gives to these like bad guys, and all the fight scenes in the trailer looks awesome. The music that's accompanied with the trailer, it is awesome. Everything fits in this trailer. This is like a perfect trailer. It's a perfect length. I think it's like about 2-3 minutes long, and this trailer is just, man, it's nuts. Like, if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Look it up on YouTube. It's crazy. And even in the trailer, you can get what type of like actor he is. Like, he nails this character. Now, I don't know Luke Cage in the comic book, so I can't say like, oh, he nails it from the comic book and blah 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 blah. No, what I'm solely going off of is just how the character is, or how the character was in Jessica Jones, and how he's portrayed. So I get like a sense of what the character is like through the TV world. Or not even the TV world, but the Netflix series where, I don't know what you call it. I don't know if you call it a TV series or what, but in any case, it looks awesome. And of course, even before I saw this, I was looking forward to, like I said before, Marvel can do no wrong. They've done so much right that it's like, at this point, they can do no wrong. And this is like looking like it's about to be a testament to that. It looks like they're doing everything right with this. Like, Luke Cage is a force to be reckoned with. And it shows it in the trailer. It shows what it needs to show to get you enticed on wanting to see it. And we got my guy Juice up in there from Sons of Anarchy. And he was great up in that show with his dramatic parts and everything. So I can't wait to see him in here. But I don't know if he has a big role. He looked like he's just a person that's probably in there like 2-3 episodes and dies. But in any case, it looks crazy. It looks off the wall. Not too off the wall, but it looks like it's gonna be so much fun. I just can't wait to see it. I really can't. Marvel can't do nothing wrong, so this series looks like it's about to be off the chain. And this trailer just basically upped my anticipation for it. And we ain't gotta wait. We ain't got that much longer to wait for this series to come out. So I'm just sitting in my seat. Once it hits Netflix, I'm right there watching it, binge watching it that whole weekend. You will have my review and everything else that come with it. So there it is. And matter of fact, it comes around just in time because I believe Captain America Civil War is dropping next month as well on Blu-ray. So you're going to have that momentum that DC had recently where you got Captain America Civil War dropping and everything else. And then like a couple weeks later, you have Luke Cage, the Netflix series coming out. So that's good advertisement, and more than likely going to have some stuff where, I don't know, maybe Marvel's going to do something. But in any case, and with that said, that concludes this 16th episode of the Take One podcast. And I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for this one. Go ahead and like this, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and everything else. Write down, like I said, comment, anything. If you agree with what I said, if you disagree, if there's anything about this you need to say about any of the subjects that I was talking about, whether it be like the Man of Steel 2, Suicide Squad 2, or whatever, put your feelings down there in the comment section below. As well as check out all the other podcasts that I got for the Take One podcast. All the other episodes that I have, they're all in the link. Blah, 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 blah. They're all in the link in the description below. I told you guys. I don't know what I can do. I have times where I can't speak, but I try my best. But yeah, like those are in the description below, as well as like. Check out my most recent review. My movie review is the Suicide Squad movie review, as well as I'm going to be putting up the spoiler cast of the Take One spoiler cast of Suicide Squad, where I'm just talking about all spoilers all day about that movie. As well as, like I said, I got my Stranger Things review coming out soon, and I'm going to be reviewing Sausage Party as well. So that may be coming out this week. I'm pushing for this week, but I got so much stuff to worry about, so. All that stuff may coming out this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to have another Take One podcast at the end of this week. If I do, of course, you have to subscribe. You'll get the notification. And also, to get that information, follow me on social media. Everything is in the description below, from my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. But just go ahead, check that out and all that good stuff. As well as everything else is in the link description below, from my mini reviews, Take One reviews, top 10s, and all that stuff. And I will be having more of top 10 minute reviews and, just other projects that I'm kind of working on. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot. And I have a lot of movie reviews coming out as well. So, keep a lookout for that. And I thank you guys again for, listening to me talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about, entertainment wise and everything else. Like I said, check out everything I'm doing, stay up to date from like social media and YouTube, and I will catch you guys later. Until next time.